Hey everybody, I am Scotty J. Welcome back to Rock Titan Live. We've got an awesome, and I mean awesome, show for you today. It's truly my honor to host this next guest. Not only does he have one of the greatest voices in the history of heavy metal, and I don't say that lightly. This man truly has got vocals unlike any other. Well, there might be some others, but they're all iconic. They're all on like the Mount Rushmore of the greatest metal voices of all time. But the thing that really separates this man from so many others is the lyrics that he writes, whether with the band that we're going to be talking about today or with his solo work. There's nothing more uplifting. He's got messages of positivity that are just absolutely tremendous. And I gotta say, while this man is probably too humble to admit it, he absolutely 100% unequivocally belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Sweet from Stryper. Michael, how are you?
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The problem with that, first of all, that's very kind of you.
I mean it.
The problem with that is there's so many other bands that really do deserve far more than I do or we do to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that aren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, I would say give it to them first,
Well, like I said, I knew you'd be humble, But seriously, oh my gosh. So let's just get right into it because I know time is sensitive and you're making your media rounds. Everyone wants to talk to you right now, as they should. But Even the Devil Believes, 13th studio album by Stryper. Oh my God, you sound incredible on that. You got to feel good.
We should have started it with that David Lee Roth quote from the song, oh my God, at the end of, what is it, Hot for Teacher, whatever. We should have started the album with that. Man, it feels good. I tell you, I just did an interview right before speaking with you, yeah. And I said to the guy, and I'll say it again, I mean it, we go into every album viewing it as our first album. In other words, our first impression. So let's really make it count. And that's the mentality behind every single album that we do. We want every song to be perfect, no filler. Whether we accomplish that or not, we try. We want the album artwork to be killer. We want the video to be killer. We want everything to set the bar. Whether it does or doesn't, at least we're trying to. And that's the mentality in this band. And the team works hard trying to make that happen. So I think we might have accomplished that with this album. People seem to really love it. They connect with it, and it's pretty cool.
I absolutely agree. Now, one of the things I thought was interesting because, I scour the web for anything and everything that could have possibly been, said about you recently, or those things that you've said yourself. And I thought it was very interesting that one of the things you did allude to in social media was that even if this was your last album with Stryper, you would feel extremely good about it. Now, you saying, even if this was your last album, obviously as tongue-in-cheek, there's no end in sight for Stryper. You're going to be making music for many, many years to come, yes?
Well, I tell you, yeah, I hope so, and I pray so. Okay. But you never know. I mean, we've been faced with some challenges. Everybody knows that. And some people have said, Oz is going through some tough times right now, and he's going to have surgery, and we're praying for the best, but we don't know what the future holds. We're really holding on to, well, God can do anything, and we believe that, but yet we just don't know. We don't know what tomorrow brings with any one of us. But being faced with this real thing, we don't know what the future holds. And people say, well, would you continue on without Oz? And, Oz has said to us, if it comes down to that, I would want you to, but I just don't know, man. It's got to feel right.
Yeah.
I would never want to do it just because we got to pay the bills. Sure. I think that's selling out. I think you have to keep your integrity and hold on to that. And, who knows, man. But when I posted that, I wasn't implying that.
Okay.
I was just telling people, I'm so happy with how this album turned out that if it's our last album, we went out on a high note. That's what I was really only trying to say.
Well, I'll tell you what, you definitely go on high notes in everything you do. I can't get over how you sound. It's funny, I was driving my daughter to school earlier. I'm like, sweetheart, she's actually going to University of Delaware for music education right now, and
Oh, wow.
she's in vocals. And I'm like, you got to listen to this guy. You got to listen to this guy. I'm like, check this out. I'm like, what do you think? And she's like, wow. And then I divulged your age, and she's like, wow. Not that you're old, you're not, but she's younger, So I mean, it's
I
like,
get it.
and then you're hitting these notes, which are wild. Yeah, looking over a little bit of your background, I tripped across something, and I don't know how long ago you said it, or if it's even accurate whatsoever. But you alluded to like Rob Halford being like someone you wanted to emulate vocally.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was not affected more so by any other artist than I was with Rob Halford.
Yeah.
And when I heard, the first time I heard Priest, believe it or not, I was in 10th grade being driven to school by my sister in her Vega station wagon. And the radio, she turned the radio on, and a few songs in, here comes Diamonds in Rust live. And then I hear him singing at the end, and I'm thinking, who is this? And it really changed my life. I went out and bought their albums, and I worked harder from that time on to develop my high register. And I got to give credit to Rob Halford for that. He really inspired me to do that. And, he's a big influence of mine. I don't sound anything like Rob, but he's definitely instrumental in my, my road as a musician, for sure.
Well, I tell you, it's funny because even if, say, you did want to sound like him, or even if you did want to have the ability to hit that high register, let's say you worked on it, all the time, which I have no doubt Michael Sweet has worked on his vocals quite a bit, because you wouldn't sound like you do today unless you did that. But what a gift. I mean, there's only so much you can do. I mean, God blesses you with a certain skill set, and then you just got to take it from there. But I mean, let's face it, if you're not born with a certain predisposition to having great vocals and just having the right DNA with your vocal cords, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you're not going to be able to hit those notes that you hit.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And I say that to my wife all the time. I mean, she says, why don't you give lessons? And, I don't know if I'd have the patience for that. But, she'll use an example like, you could give this person lessons and they'd be a great singer. And I say to her, well, they don't have good pitch. So if you don't have good pitch, you can work on that, but it's going to be much more difficult. You have to have a certain natural ability and at least have good pitch. And, my voice, it's a love it or hate it voice. I mean, thank God there are people like you who like my voice, but there are people that you might play it for and they'd be like, ugh, I don't like his voice. I'm a very dramatic singer. I sing things very differently. I pronounce things very differently. I have low notes and high notes, and it's a very interesting style. And you either love it or hate it, man. So I'm just thankful that there are a lot of people out there that like it, and we're able to do this.
Well, your voice is metal. That is for sure. I mean, it's just all metal. You think of the greatest metal singers in the history of heavy metal, and like I said in the beginning of this conversation, you're there, man. I mean, without a doubt. I mean it. And everybody, I put a review for Even the Devil Believes out on rocktitan.tv, not .com, not .org. Go check it out. And I have a couple lyric videos out there, the official music video out there. I absolutely loved it. That being said, I'm going to digress a little bit, Michael, and I do want to congratulate you for your last solo album because it's coming up on the 1-year anniversary, and that's for 10.
Great.
Man, what a great album that was. You had so many awesome collaborations on that. That was neat.
You know what? I wanted to do that. The reason why it started with the album One-Sided War. So what happened was I got into writing the songs and recording the songs, and then it came time to track the solos. And I started tracking the solos, and I'm a guitar player, and some people know that, some people don't, believe it or not.
No, he's solid. I should have said that. You're a very solid guitar player, yeah.
So I'm on the fence all the time of, do I care or do I not care? Do I play more and show people, focus more on my guitar playing, or do I not care? As I was working on the solos, I realized it was sounding more and more Stryper. So what I decided was, I said, you know what, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to bring in Ethan Broach and I'm going to bring in Joel Hoekstra, make it different. And then for 10, I took it a step further and I brought in a different player for every song. And I think, did it make it a little less Stryper? I think so. People say, oh, it sounds like Stryper. And, I can't help that. What am I going to do about that? I write most of the material for Stryper. I'm the singer for Stryper. I'm a guitar player for Stryper. It's going to sound like Stryper to a degree, and I can't escape that unless I tried doing a jazz album or something, or a polka album. Then it might not sound like Stryper.
The polka special by Michael Sweet. Yeah. Oh, I could see that. Now. But now, the only reason I brought up 10 was because, I think it's very interesting with artists like yourself, where you have a successful band, a very successful band, and then you also have a successful solo career. When you're writing, how do you decide as a songwriter, okay, this is going to be part of my solo catalog. Oh, you know what though? This is definitely more Stryper. I think I'm going to reserve this for the next Stryper, release.
I get it. Yeah, no, people ask me that question all the time. And to be honest with you, I think it's more of a subconscious thing.
Okay.
I don't sit down and say, okay, this has to be a solo song and it has to sound solo. So what can I do? I don't think that way. I just start writing and it works. There are some solo songs that could fit perfectly on a Stryper album. And there are some Stryper songs that could fit perfectly on a solo album. Take, for example, How to Fly. People are already saying that sounds more like a solo song.
Right.
What solo? And then take, for example, Son of Man or Better Part of Me from 10. Those could have fit perfectly on Even the Devil Believes.
Sure.
So sure. I don't, there's no rhyme or reason. I just kind of dive into it, and I base it more on, do I like the idea or do I like the song or not? If I don't, I'll scratch it and move on to a new idea. But I never think or try to write on paper, okay, how do I make this more solo? How do I make this more Stryper? It just doesn't work that way for me.
Right on. Well, one of the things that I know is different about Even the Devil Believes, 13th studio album by the legendary metal band Stryper. Perry Richardson on bass. Yeah. And, of course, everyone knows him from his years with Firehouse, man. I love that band, too.
Yeah.
How'd you hook up with him?
Well, I've got a lot of respect for Firehouse, first of all, because they broke out in the 90s. That's when they broke. And if you recall, as I'm sure everyone does, grunge was coming in and moving all of that genre, that style out. Right?
Yeah.
Firehouse was somehow able to overcome that and break in a world that seemed that a band like that couldn't break in. But that being said, Perry has always been a Stryper fan. He's always loved Yellow and Black. His first car was yellow. He always applied the 777. He's got tattoos. He's got pictures of him with us back in the day. And it was always a dream of his to be a part of Stryper. And it just worked out. When we were looking for a new bass player, his name came up and we met with him and that was it. We fell in love with him. And we just thought, man, where was this guy in 1983? And that's not to take away or disrespect our former bass player. Okay, right on. So don't get upset over that. I'm just saying, Perry seems to be an absolute perfect fit all around, and we love having him in the band. And I just think there certainly would have been a little less drama if he was in the band from the get-go.
Right on. Now, one of the other things I got to touch on with this album, Even the Devil Believes. The guitar solos are absolutely sick. I mean, track to track. Awesome guitars. Is that you? Is that Oz? Who is that?
I could give you a breakdown on all the solos. I mean, it's 50-50, split up 50-50, as it's always been. Okay. And not a lot of people know that. But the solo to Blood from Above is me.
Okay.
The solo to Make Love Great Again is Oz.
Okay.
The first half, then me the second half.
Wow.
Let Him In is Oz. You want me to keep going?
No. Well, no, I wish I would have known this from my review, because now I'm going to look like a douche.
Do unto others. Do unto others. That's what's funny. One guy wrote a review saying that "Do Unto Others" is the best solo Oz Fox ever recorded.
It was you.
And I'm saying, and that's great. I mean, and if it was reversed, if it was the song Oz played and they said the best solo Michael's ever recorded, I would still set the record straight. But I'm thinking, man, this guy didn't see the video, obviously, and it always amazes me how people just don't have their facts straight.
Right. Right on. Yeah, no, because, man, you do rock. I mean, they're really good, man. I mean,
thanks, brother.
Well, it's just wild because, again, Stryper is a Christian heavy metal band, and it's just like, I'm thinking to myself, has Stryper maybe not gotten all the world acclaim that they absolutely deserve because, to Christians, they're too heavy metal, and to heavy metal, they're too Christian. And I'm just thinking to myself, why should it even matter? Good music is good music, man.
I agree with you, man, dude. You said that so well, so perfect. And it doesn't matter, and it really irks me. That's why I'm a fighter against the Christian tag. I don't like the Christian label. And again, a lot of our fans, being Christians, they get up in arms. They think that I'm dissing Christianity,
right?
And I'm ashamed of the name. And it's like, really? Are you kidding me?
All you got to do is listen to the lyrics, man.
Have we ever shied away from Christ?
Right.
No.
Right.
So, but it's that label that I shy away from, and the reason why I feel that it's a silly label. I feel that people can figure out what's Christian and what's not on their own. They don't need a label. I feel that then why aren't there labels on bands like Slayer? And why aren't they under the satanic category at the record shop?
Right.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Right.
And I just feel I've been on a campaign lately to kind of do away with that label. I don't think I ever will, but I don't like the label. I feel that it limits us. It keeps us from reaching the people we want to reach. When you go in a record store and the album comes out, even The Devil Believes, this happens with every album. And I go to the store and I say, hey, do you have the new Stryper album? The guy goes, oh, yeah, it's in the back corner, the dark corner there under the Christian category. And then Megadeth is right up front.
Yeah, right. You're over in the gospel section,
It drives me insane. It just does.
Yeah.
Because it really limits what we're doing and the cause.
Right. Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. Well, I was going to ask you if you consider yourself a missionary in any regard, as a musician, with such a positive message and just the power of the music you create. But I guess all that being said, no, you probably wouldn't put yourself in the role of a missionary at all.
Now, see, that's maybe a contradiction, but I would.
Oh, okay.
I would.
All right.
I mean, and I'm proud of that. We are missionaries, and this is a ministry because we're bringing the gospel to people.
Right on.
Okay. We're taking them to church. When they come to see Stryper, it's a rock show.
Right on.
It's not a Christian show. It's a rock show. There's a bar in the back. Usually, people are drinking, people are smoking pot. And we're up there singing, Jesus is the way, and throwing out Bibles,
Right on.
Hoping that they might take that with them and apply that to their lives. So we are missionaries.
Okay.
We really are.
All right. That's cool. Well, I know you got to get going, Michael. And again, thank you so much for your time. And everybody, I know you're loving this podcast. So make sure you go out to youtube.com/Rock Titan and subscribe, because we've got awesome stuff here with Michael and a lot of his peers. Okay, a lot of other people that Michael's worked with. We featured all of them, so go check it out. On a parting note, Michael, I know you got some really cool stuff coming up, some live stream shows. You're throwing your hat into that realm, yeah? You're going to be doing some live streaming.
It's a little different than live stream, being in the sense that we went in the studio. We rehearsed for 2 weeks, went in the studio and recorded 2 albums in their entirety, one being the new album, the other being To Hell with the Devil. So it's live, but it's not going to be live streamed. It's going to be on demand. People are going to be able to rent it or purchase it.
Okay. All right.
So that's the difference. But I can tell you this, it's live, but it sounds like an album.
Okay.
It sounds so good. The audio quality, the video quality is amazing. And we're really proud, man, of how those turned out. And the first one comes out in the next 6 to 8 weeks. So just in time for turkey dinner. Right. People are going to be rocking like Dawkins, man. You know,
rocking like Dawkins. Yeah. They actually just came out with a new the unheard songs. That that no one ever heard from 78 to 81. I don't know if you had a chance to go check that out or if you knew about it, but
I haven't had a chance to listen to the songs, but I've heard a lot about it. I've seen it. Have you heard it?
Oh, I reviewed it. Yeah, just like yours. Cool. Yeah. No, it was very cool.
Is it good? Good stuff?
I think it's sad that it took 30 plus years for it to come out. Yeah. No, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. But as is yours. And that's what we're talking about. Even the devil believes. So everybody, it came out a little over a week ago, but you got everyone. This is some of Stryper's best. Literally. Well, I mean, not that Stryper's ever done anything remotely bad.
Man.
But
dude, I appreciate it. You're very kind, and I'm so happy that you love it and you get it.
I do.
And we're gonna keep trying to improve. Like people say, man, you may not ever top this. Oh yeah, we're gonna top it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can't wait. The next one's gonna be even better. We're gonna keep reaching for that goal. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you what. My favorite song off that album was "This I Pray." That was very close to home for me because as I said, those were prayers I said with my kids every single night before they went to sleep.
Yeah.
So
I get it, dude.
That was the exact prayer.
And that prayer still applies now. It's a very simple prayer.
Yep.
But it's a very powerful prayer. Yeah, and if we could all just say that one prayer every day, what a better world we would live in, right?
I agree. So on that note, Michael, everybody, whenever you're feeling down, I mean, we are living in very tumultuous, very stressful times right now. If ever we needed positive messages to uplift us and to just feel better about life, about the world, that things are okay and that they're going to be okay, go out and listen to some Stryper. Because seriously, you're not going to have a more positive message in anything more hardcore, like period. It's the best of all worlds. Uplifting messages, heavy metal all the way. And Mr. Michael Sweet, thank you so much for your time on Rock Titan Live. It's been a blast, man.
Hey, brother, look, you're doing a great job. I'm very impressed. I had an honor. It was an honor talking to you, and I had a blast. And keep it going, okay?
Will do. All right, everybody. Well, you just heard it from Michael right there. I'm Scotty J. You're watching Rock Titan Live. We're out.